A homeowner in Los Angeles was attacked by a homeless person who made an encampment in his yard. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today, and it's going over the whole homelessness issue once again. I keep covering this topic because it's important, okay? The main thing is that we have a huge homelessness problem in this country, and the solutions that a lot of the far left-leaning progressives are coming up with entail basically they want you as a landlord to house these people for free, or they want hotels to house these people, or they just want the homeless people to just go ahead and build their encampments in people's yards. They want you to give your spare bedroom away to these people. They forget though that a lot of the people who are out on the streets, they actually have drug problems, they got mental health issues, and putting them in your house is putting yourself in danger, okay? And this story here is a prime example of that, okay? So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, okay? Have you ever experienced, seen or had a homeless person who was acting erratically, possibly high on drugs, or having a mental health episode right in your presence, okay? Now, if you've spent any time in any major city in the U.S., I'm sure that you probably have at least seen some absolute nonsense going on. Normally it's just somebody walking down the street talking to themselves, right? But I've seen really, really crazy stuff, near where I work, because it's so near to the homeless shelter. And I do my training runs, when I'm training for my marathons, I do my training runs in a park where the homeless people seem to congregate. So I get to see a lot of insane things, okay? Things like, people just taking a dump in the middle of in the grass median in the middle of the street. Things like people getting those little scooters that people ride around, in the little popular urban areas. Well, imagine homeless people basically riding those things along, down the middle of the street, and sitting down on them. You're supposed to stand up, but they're just sitting down on them and acting like they're motorcycles. I mean, it's just crazy, some of the stuff I've seen. But anyway, let me get into this article. So like I said, this article is coming out of Los Angeles. It's coming from abc7.com, and it says, Studio City man injured in alleged attack after confronting homeless men behind his home. And it looks like the article has a little video with it, and I'll play that for you right now.
I'm saddened. I'm outraged. I think that it's gotten out of hand.
Ring security camera footage captures the moment a homeless man sneaks through a man's backyard after assaulting a nearby homeowner.
To have it on your own property and not be able to feel safe.
Cecilia Giles says two homeless men set up a shelter in the embankment just beneath their home in the hills of Studio City on Wednesday. By Friday, Giles' husband attempted to get them to move. They say he offered to help to get them city assistance, but that made one man angry, and Giles' husband was attacked.
Tried to, just drive a huge metal pole through his back.
Giles' husband suffered several serious injuries, but is expected to recover.
He had a fractured scapula and then 3 posterior ribs broken and a collapsed lung.
The two homeless men are still loose in the community. Guile made this handout for neighbors to try to find the man who attacked her husband.
This is attempted murder. The severity of the injuries to my husband, and they just shouldn't be out. One of them is violent.
All right, you saw that video. Now let me get into this article. A suspect was arrested Tuesday afternoon after allegedly attacking a man in Studio City and leaving him with serious injuries during a confrontation. Cecilia Guile, the victim's wife, said two homeless men set up a shelter in the embankment just beneath their home in the hills of Studio City on Wednesday. By Friday, Giles' husband attempted to get them to move. She said he offered to help get them city assistance, but that made one man angry, and Giles' husband was attacked. Listen, if you are going to go and you're going to go confront people, and if they're homeless, not knowing what kind of issues they're having, my suggestion is don't go alone. That's the first thing. Second of all, take a weapon with you. Okay? especially if it's on your property. You know, if you get attacked and you have to defend yourself, you know, you don't want to be using your fists, right? That's why I always carry my gun with me. Now, obviously, they're in California. It's illegal for them to carry their gun anywhere. See, this is part of my gripe against when, you know, the good intentions of these people. Oh, we're going to stop gun violence by preventing law-abiding citizens from being able to defend themselves on their own property. Well, how is that going to stop gun violence? It's not. Okay, so yeah, this guy, he had no means of defending himself. There's no prosecution. Like, he couldn't call the police and say, hey, police, there's somebody camping on my property. Can you please get them to move? Because guess what? They don't enforce the law down in California. They don't. Okay, there's no trespassing enforcement down there. Those people can do whatever they want. They got free reign of the land. And this guy, you know, he's left forced to defend himself. That's why I say, don't even waste your time there. Okay? Do you think that this sort of thing, when it happens in a place like California, do you think this encourages people to want to move there? Of course not. Okay? That's why I say, all of the ridiculous laws that they've passed, all the ridiculous rules that they've passed are only hurting the state overall. And they're hurting the good, hardworking people within the state, you know? So yeah, if you go too far to the progressive left, that is the end result, okay? I'm saddened. I'm outraged. I think that it's gotten out of hand, Giles said, to have it on your own property and not be able to feel safe. Giles said the man tried to just drive a huge metal pole through his back. Wow, that's awful. Ring camera security footage captured one of the men sneaking through the backyard after allegedly assaulting the homeowner. Giles' husband suffered several serious injuries, but is expected to recover. Thank goodness this man didn't die, okay? But, you know, like I said, I can't believe this sort of thing is happening. And I wouldn't live there, okay? I wouldn't live there. If I had to put up with this nonsense, I wouldn't live there. And I already have said that. I've already said that just from the way they treat landlords, okay? They treat us like garbage. But now you're seeing that, hey, they don't care about homeowners either. They don't care about people defending themselves and their own property. They don't care about enforcing the law out there. So you're scaring away people, you're scaring away businesses, and you're letting, you know, criminals basically have, you know, open, free, they could have every freedom, never get locked up, never face any consequences. And that's not what we want to see. He had a fractured scapula and then 3 posterior ribs broken and a collapsed lung, said Guile, describing her husband's injuries. Guile made a handout for neighbors to try to find the man who attacked her husband. This is attempted murder. The severity of the injuries to my husband, she said, they just shouldn't be out. I mean, one of them is violent, and so I would like to see them criminally charged. It won't happen, okay? They probably will never find them. Even if they do find them, they'll probably, you know, if they charge them with anything, then they will, you know, no bail, you know. So they'll be right back out on the street. And even if they get convicted, they'll probably just put it down. No, it won't be attempted murder. It'll probably be something like disorderly conduct or whatever. This guy probably has a criminal record that is 10 miles long already, okay? This is the kind of person that doesn't give a crap about human life or property or any of this stuff. This is the person we need to have locked up, but this is the kind of person they're refusing to lock up. Okay? Oh man, it's very frustrating. You know, I work in law enforcement, so when I read this sort of story about, you know, people who are, you know, innocent victims like this getting attacked and there's no repercussions for the criminals doing this sort of thing, it makes me mad. Los Angeles police announced Tuesday an arrest was made after a bicyclist saw a flyer along the LA River in an area just north of where the attack happened. Police say the bicyclist spotted the suspect camped along the river and called police. The suspect, 37-year-old Joshua Anthony Torres, was arrested without incident. Torres has multiple felony convictions, is on parole for burglary, and has an active no bail warrant for parole violation, LAPD said in a news release. Prior to the arrest, neighbors in the area where the crime happened said they want the police to do more. So, okay, they actually found this guy. But then you look at it and he's got multiple felony convictions. Multiple, okay? He had a warrant out for his arrest for burglary. This guy is a scumbag. He should have never been on the streets. How many stories have we read lately where people who, have these huge criminal histories, suddenly they attack somebody, either almost kill them or maybe they do kill them, and then we're like wonder, well, why is this person out on the street? Well, because soft on crime politicians who put in place these rules that said we're not going to prosecute, we're not going to hold people in jail because we feel bad for them. Well, this is the end result, okay? This is the end result. I know that the good people, this isn't what they expected. This isn't what they expected to happen, but this is reality. This is why we can't be soft on crime. We can't be soft on criminals. We can't let the little things go, okay? And LA has just become a crap hole because that is exactly what they're doing.